That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The Mets win 3-1 in their second game of the season, as there will not be an 0-5 start this season. And the Mets win 3-1, just flip the score from yesterday, and they get the job done. The offense, a lot better today. I will say there were things that scared me in terms of the fact that they did have an opportunity to really blow this game open at points, but they couldn't get the job done there. But it is still early, and they are going to click at some point. But the plate approach, beautiful. The bullpen, beautiful. Reed Garrett, I freaking love the guy. Edwin Diaz, his velocity was there. And man, we got a lot to get into between Stanek, too, of course. I can't forget him. And then Tyler McGill, too, goes out there and shoves. He gave an outing that you would have signed up for if you saw the line before the game even kicked off. You would have, before the first pitch was thrown, I should say, you would have signed up for this outing any day of the week, twice on Sundays, and he gave this. And the best part is, I still think he could have gave even more throughout the outing. But we're going to get into everything. Leave a like on your way into the post-game show. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, especially if you're Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when we upload or go live here on Met Central. But yeah, I mean, I really was worried going into the game because of the fact that Tyler McGill, it is, I get that he does his thing in March. I get that he does his thing in April, but I did worry going into things just because of the fact that, the offense wasn't clicking yesterday in terms of just, getting the runs itself, even though I like the plate approaches. And I thought that was a positive yesterday. And I thought, okay, carry that over into the next game. And you're going to win more times than not with a similar plate approach to what they gave yesterday. And sure enough, they did. I was worried with Hunter Brown on the mound, though, as well on Houston side of things. But yeah, I'm very happy with what they gave because the offense got going and it was pretty early in the game as well. I mean, outside of that first inning where it did look ugly, you had the two strikeouts from Lindor and Soto, and then Alonso hits into that fly out, which I thought maybe would be a double off the wall or it would just leave the yard. And I'm like, okay, maybe they will get something going here off of Hunter Brown. Tyler McGill, though, goes out there, by the way. And like I said, he shoved today. He absolutely shoved. And the thing that was so beautiful about what Tyler McGill did today is he wasn't even utilizing his full arsenal today. He didn't utilize really most of the pitch mix, which they were talking about on the broadcast at nauseum, how he could throw 7 different pitches at you. He could throw 5 to 6 different pitches at you. He was really only utilizing 3 of his pitches during this outing, and it was mostly the fastball, it was mostly the slider, and it was mostly the sinker. And the way that he was able to utilize those pitches today, it was just beautiful to watch because he was getting a lot of arm side movement there on the sinker, which helped him set up the four seam there to go a little bit higher in the zone there. It was just it was so beautiful to watch. And then even the slider today too, which sometimes it gives me a heart attack when he throws it, but all the pitches graded out well for a reason. And I want to see too how many swing and misses he generated, but he was just filthy today. And it does make me question of, okay, can he deepen the arsenal? If not, this is stuff that, like we've said before, probably plays better out of the bullpen just because of the fact that we want to see him go through the outing a little bit longer, of course. It's just not going to happen when you have a shorter arsenal, of course. But I mean, today he was utilizing those 3 pitches very well. Threw a couple changeups in there, threw a couple curveballs in there, and yeah, I'm trying to find it. Here we go. The swing and misses. Let's see. He had 10 whiffs on 35 swings there. So there you go. And his slider was generating a lot of whiffs there. It was really the slider generating a lot of that. And it was just beautiful to watch. It was just beautiful pitching to watch there. And man, who would have thought that Tyler McGill was going to outduel Hunter Brown today, which honestly, there was a point where he did get on the ropes a little bit, but he works out of the jam too. You know, you fast forward to that fourth inning, which I'll go back to where we were with the offense, but he allows those two singles and to limit the damage to just one run there with the sacrifice fly from Jordan, and then come back and get two strikeouts on Christian Walker and Yainer Diaz. That's huge there. And that showed, hopefully, a little bit more maturity that we're going to see from Tyler McGill as he's going to get more starts. But I mean, the way that he went about that Christian Walker at bat, just because I have that pulled up right now, all fastballs, and then gets throws a slider to get him swinging there to strike him out. And then the Diaz at bat throws the fastball to start things off and then gives him two sliders to swing at. It was just great pitching from him. It really was. And then even the fifth inning, he allows that walk to Cam Smith and you maybe get a little worried, gets that double play there. So, yeah, I mean, he gave as good of an outing as you could have ever asked for from him. Gets that strikeout too on Jake Myers in the sixth inning, allowed the single. And, you know, we'll fast forward to the bullpen, though, where that's where we have a lot more positives to get into. But I want to go back to the elephant in the room here, which is the offense, of course, and you know something that happened with the offense. In the second inning, though, you had that base hit from Brandon Nimmo going to the opposite field. Mark Vientos, and I noticed something that might have happened throughout this at bat, but I need to rewatch it honestly to see if my eyes were correct in the moment. But he was facing, and it was like this in the first game as well, where he was getting challenged on the inside part of the plate a lot. And if I'm not wrong, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he backed up a little bit before that fifth pitch, and he was able to get a hold of it for a double. That drove in a run, which, by the way, before that, Brandon Nimmo, loved to see him actually attempting to steal a base. Not that it necessarily went the best there because of the fact that he would have got caught if the ball wasn't dropped there. But either way, ends up getting the second there. Vientos drives him in, and then Jesse Winker with that single on that base hit there up the middle ends up making it 2-0. It sucks that Taylor hit into a double play. I really wonder if Sirius is going to get in the lineup tomorrow just to give a little bit of a different look there. And then Beatty pops out. I would have liked a little bit more of runs there, considering how that inning was going. But beggars can't be choosers there. Because like I said, though, Tyler McGill, either way, was giving just an unbelievable outing. And then we get to the moment, though, in the third inning, where after the strikeout from Torrens, after the ground out from Lindor, Juan Soto comes up to the plate, and he does the thing. He does the thing that we were hoping he was going to do in the first game after hearing nonstop for the past 24 hours about how he struck out to end the last game and Yankee fans celebrating like it was their 28th World Series. He just absolutely tanks that high cutter into the second deck for his first home run as a New York Met, and it was beautiful. I'm going to watch that 1 billion times over before I go to sleep, and that's just if I could even get sleep after this win. But Juan Soto tanks his first home run as a New York Met. Would have liked Gary Cohen to get the first call for his first home run as a Met. But again, beggars can't be choosers there. And I can't wait to see more of it. A game like today makes me want them to just go back out there right now and watch another game of baseball. But unfortunately, we got to wait. We got to wait a night of sleep, of course, and then late tomorrow night to watch another game here. And then he drew that walk too in the sixth inning, and the pass ball there. Alonso walked, which, by the way, Pete Alonso, once again, I'm going to say it for the second straight game, the plate discipline was unbelievable. It was beautiful. And I don't know if this is what we're going to have to get used to with Pete Alonso, but I will love if we do, if this is his new plate approach where he is a lot more disciplined because of the fact that a lot of those pitches last year, like the high fastballs, the high sinkers, he would have been swinging at so many of those pitches last year. He's drawing a lot more walks, and it's beautiful to see. unfortunately, Nimmo hit into that double play there, and then Vientos hits into that flyout. And that's where you did get even more worried in the sixth inning. Like when Altuve got that single, Garrett comes in, gets that strikeout on Paredes, which, by the way, that sweeper that he threw there, and just the sinkers, gross. Walks Yordan Alvarez, and I think we're all shitting bricks thinking, yeah, they really needed to. It really sucks that they weren't able to what's it called, capitalize on, with getting guys on base last inning. And on that Meyer strikeout, too, it's even more annoying because of the fact that Torrens wasn't able to grab the ball there. And then the single for Altuve just gets by Lindor. And those could have been things to get McGill even through the rest of the outing. And maybe we're talking about him going through six tonight, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Fortunately, though, Reed Garrett was disgusting. Strikes out Christian Walker. The sweeper he threw on that one, gross. And then he gets that fly out from Diaz to end that inning. And, fast forward, there really wasn't much until you get to the eighth inning, which it was unfortunate that yet again the Mets offense didn't capitalize here. And this is something where that's going to have to change because we saw this last year where they were getting guys on. They just couldn't drive the run in because Torrens got that double and Lindor got hit by a pitch. You think, okay, they got to score here, get an insurance run to let us all feel comfortable, let us all relax. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Soto hits into that fly out. Alonso then hits into that force out, which almost was a double play. And then Nimmo ends up lining out to end the inning there. So getting two guys on, not capitalizing sucked. And it sucked even more that Stanek gave us a mini heart attack because I don't know about you guys, but when he came in and he couldn't find the zone on most of his pitches, I was shitting bricks. He walks out Tuve there. And then that fly out from Paredes, I was so confident that was sneaking into the Crawford box and we were looking at a tied game there. Thankfully it didn't, but and then thankfully Stanek was fine out after that, which, by the way, thankfully Acuna came into this game because I'm sorry, I don't think Brett Beatty makes the play that Acuna did over at second base there on Yordan Alvarez to ground out. And then Christian Walker ended up lining out to end that inning. Crisis averted. Crisis averted because I thought that them not scoring in that eighth inning and then, Stanek looking shaky there, it did worry me. And the one thing I'll say, because I will put my hand up and say it, in the moment, I was pissed that Stanek came into the game there because the thing that I preached it last year. I'm going to preach it again this year. Even if it works out, the process to me matters. That Edwin Diaz should have been facing the better part of the lineup there. And then you bring Stanek in for the ninth inning. It doesn't matter. They won. I don't have to think about it ever again. For process purposes, I would have liked Diaz and Stanek to flip when they were in this game. The Mets go down in order in the ninth inning, and then Diaz gave really a solid ninth inning. I mean, his velocity was up compared to what it was in the spring, which also is an encouraging sign there. Hopefully, we don't have to worry too much about it dropping again. And hopefully this means that the velocity is only going to go up even further. So, yeah, this bullpen was just absolutely nails. And compared to what we saw at the beginning of last year, just beautiful there because last year the bullpen blows this game. It's not even a question. I didn't even mention that AJ Minter looked really good in his inning of work. He had that walk he allowed, which, by the way, something that I didn't even tackle from this game. The home plate umpire sucked. And thankfully they won, so I'm not going to sound like I'm a whining baby by saying it. The umpire sucked tonight, and it was both ways. And I saw from the get-go, I saw that this was going to be a long night with this ump behind the dish. Just so many missed calls. I would love to see the score tomorrow, the ump score that comes out, whether it's tomorrow or tonight, because that might have been one of the worst games I've seen from an umpire. That might have been one of the worst games I've seen. I'm not even exaggerating there. Gross. Just missing so many obvious calls. But either way, because there was one where Pete Alonso should have got rung up there from Hunter Brown just painting the black there 100 miles per hour on the outside part of the dish, and they called it a ball, which in the moment I wasn't complaining, but you can't miss that many calls. It was just terrible, terrible job by the umps. So that's something that I thought I would mention. Yeah, I mean, 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. You would have liked a little more, but I'm willing to give the offense time because they are always behind pitching in terms of, what we see. We're seeing it around the league where outside of like the Orioles and Blue Jay series where all those games are high scoring. Some of these games are pretty low scoring for the most part, and the pitchers do have the advantage early on in the season. So I'm willing to be patient. I'm willing to give it time here. I'm not going to freak out, but it is something that I like to see going forward. The offense just uh being able to drive in those runs with guys on base, especially with no outs, because there were too many times last year where they just weren't doing that. So that's just a pattern I don't want to see continuing here. But yeah, I'll get to the chat now, see what you guys are saying. Leave a like on your way in if you have not already. Subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that stuff. Let's see. The Edwin Diaz we know and love is back. Yes, and I think there's only room for him to be better because we know that fastball could hit triple digits and the slider got to 92, 93. So that was an encouraging sign from him. Mets W and won the bet. Good night for both of us. Yes, which I cashed out of, but I still got a good profit there. Not complaining one bit. Yes, 1-1 record now. How about Reed Garrett? Indeed, Chris. He was disgusting. He was disgusting. His sweeper is just gross. How do you not love Reed Garrett like I tweeted? I like McGill's usage of his pitches. The combo of the fastball, slider, and sinker worked well. Got unlucky in the fifth with the defense. Yeah. And that's really the thing that's unfortunate there is that, his outing could have went longer, honestly, if there was a little bit better of defense over there for him. Yeah, like I touched on before, yeah, the ump was terrible. It was like you said, the outside of the plate was really bad with him. 100%. I agree with that. The bullpen is looking good through 2 games so far. Haven't seen Kranick and Budo yet. I'm sure they'll be in tomorrow. Still got Nunez to come back as well. That's the great part about it. And yeah, now that we don't know what Griffin Canning's going to give, I really love the fact that I love that McGill gave enough to where, okay, Budo and Kranick could give you multiple innings each. Where if things are going bad, and especially with the off day on Sunday, you could pull Canning's ass out as early as you need to. That's the thing that I love about that. So yeah, I feel like the Mets, with where they are bullpen wise, are in a good spot to take this third game. We'll see how it goes, but you can never pencil it in. But we did say going into game 2, they did have an advantage with the way certain pitchers were utilized, and we were right there. I better see every baseball media place who posted the SOTO strikeout last night post his home run. You won't, because it won't get the clicks the way that will. Um, but I agree there. I have no idea how Soto hit that out. It was like 3 inches up because he's Juan Soto, baby. Because he's Juan Soto and he's a Met. I'm so I just the difference between talking about this team and talking about my hockey team, it's just amazing. It's really just amazing. And I'm in such a good mood now. I'm in a great mood. Juan Soto's a New York Met for the next 15 years. Mets baseball and Knicks hoops are absolutely saving me from the Rangers season right now. You and I both. I have the Ranger game on next to me right now. I am half watching, truthfully, because I have to do my stream after. Not that I'm really gonna have a great post game show performance tonight, but I don't care because this is what I'm entertained by right now. This is exactly what I'm entertained by right now. And it was just beautiful to watch. This bullpen, I'm so excited to see how it goes throughout the year because, like Matt said, we Nunez isn't even on the roster, and we still haven't seen Kranick and Budo, and the bullpen filthy right now. It just is filthy. I'm excited for tomorrow. I just want to get the first pitch tomorrow, right now. I really just want to. I'm trying to see if there's any other things that I didn't touch on that are noteworthy here. Let's take a look. Just looking through Savant. Nothing really. Looks like. I think I tackled pretty much every topic here. So, all right, I'm gonna go torture myself and watch hockey. Thank you everyone for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live here on Met Central. I'll see you guys in the next one.